Thank you for staying with us. Today is Dhanteras. It marks the beginning of Diwali. It also gives us a reminder that good health is something that you must focus on. On this particular day, the country celebrates Ayurveda Day as well. And on such a day, the Prime Minister today, while he was launching developmental works and projects, he also extended the Ayushman Bharat cover to all senior citizens above the age of 70. But while he was doing that, there was a political war of words that took place because the Prime Minister attacked the TMC and the Aam Aadmi Party, the two governments in Delhi and in West Bengal. The Prime Minister said that I apologize to the elderly because in these two states, they cannot avail facilities under the Ayushman Bharat scheme, and it's because of the politics of these two opposition parties why people of the country are hurting, and the Prime Minister is pained by that. Now, that was an allegation that met with a quick rebuttal from both those sides. In fact, what the government has then put forth as far as a fact file of the Ayushman Bharat scheme is that here's how the scheme works. Basically, it is a 60-40 ratio as far as bearing the cost is concerned, 60 by the centre, 40 by respective states. Delhi and West Bengal have refused to implement this scheme since it came into being in 2019. These are the only two states that remain a holdout. They're unwilling to bear that 40% cost. They want the centre to bear the entire cost. They say we already have a scheme that is exactly the same, but if the centre or the Prime Minister specifically wants to claim credit, then the centre should bear the cost for it. What's interesting is that there are other opposition-ruled states that are looking at these particular schemes as far as Ayushman Bharat goes. In fact, there are top 4 performing states in this particular scheme. 3 of them are opposition ruled. Karnataka and Kerala, the best performing as far as hospital admissions go under this particular scheme, are also opposition ruled states. So then, is this about opposition to what the central government is doing, or is this merely hatred for Modi as the BJP alleges? Is politics preceding policy is the question we want to ask.
लोगों को ऐसे संकट से उबारने वाली योजना पहले कभी नहीं बनी।
He has tried his best to confuse the public of West Bengal and Delhi.
आयुष्मान भारत में कितना बड़ा फ्रॉड सरकारों ने किया है, अगर उसकी जांच हो जाए तो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को चेहरा दिखाने की हैसियत नहीं होगी।
Let's open this up. Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP, continues to be with us. Political analyst Sanjay Rana and Tausif Khan, advocate, also with us in this broadcast. Tausif Khan, I want to begin by asking you, there are only 2 states that are holdouts of this particular scheme since it came into being in 2019, Delhi and West Bengal. Why is that?
You see, much before Ayushman scheme was introduced by the central government in 2018, 2 years before, Mamata Banerjee government had already launched a healthcare scheme called Swasthya Sathi in 2016. And the Ayushman scheme launched by the Modi government is basically a copy of what Mamata Banerjee had introduced, and they have even terribly failed in that. And why do I say so? These restrictions that you see now, the benefits under Ayushman scheme is extended to elderly people. There was no such restriction under the Swasthya Sathi scheme. Secondly, Swasthya Sathi scheme that the Mamata Banerjee government provides is available for entire 10 crore population of West Bengal and is fully funded by the state government. Unlike Ayushman scheme, where the scheme is funded 60% by the central government and the beneficiary has to make a contribution. Under the Ayushman scheme, the beneficiary has to make a contribution, whereas under the Swasthya Sathi scheme, beneficiary has no need to make any contribution. The scheme fully funded by the state government. So there are other aspects also which I do not want to go into, which basically proves that the scheme brought in by Mamata Banerjee government, Swasthya Sathi, is already there, is effective and have benefited the people of Bengal. And what Mr. Prime Minister said is that the elderly in the Bengal are deprived of any healthcare scheme. That's not correct. That's an incorrect statement. The Ayushman scheme available in other states, I welcome them also. But I say this with full confidence that the scheme that Mamata Banerjee has brought is much better than the scheme brought in by Mr. Modi.
So then Pradeep Bhandari, the TMC has been saying this right from the beginning, that this is just a credit claiming scheme, which is why they don't want to partake in it. And if the centre really wants to ensure that it happens in West Bengal, then why not bear the full cost?
Poonam, first of all, on the Swasth Sati scheme, as per what is written in the West Bengal government, selects a category of beneficiary like members of self-help groups, casual and contractual employees of government departments and ASHA workers. So the scope of the Swasth Sati scheme is a limited in scope. It is not for everybody above the age of 70 years. That is point number one. Point number two is very important. This is not for the first time that the TMC government has done this. If you remember, in 2020, it was the Kisan Samman Nidhi. In the Kisan Samman Nidhi, Bengal refused to accept Kisan Samman Nidhi, and 70 lakh farmers of West Bengal had suffered because of it. Now, coming on to why will the central government not contribute fully? Any central scheme is not at all contributed fully. There is a percentage of the state contribution and there is a percentage of the central contribution. And allow me to explain it with simple example. For example, on another point, on the Ministry of Rural Development, when UPA was in power, UPA allocated around 80,000 crore to Bengal. We allocated 2 lakh crore to Bengal under various schemes. So historically, based on the federal system, the central government, in any scheme, it has happened historically, will always allocate a percentage of it, and the state will further contribute another 25, 30, 35%. So this is how the federal setup is. But my question is that a scheme which is as extensive as Ayushman Bharat, what is preventing Mamata Banerjee to allow it? It is purely because Mamata Banerjee's insecurity. Mamata knows that if Ayushman Bharat benefits reach to the people of Bengal, the elderly of Bengal, Mamata Banerjee's quote-unquote vote or welfare vote might move away from her. And this is not for the first time Mamata has done. She did the same thing even with Kisan Samman Nidhi. She's done it with other central schemes.
But Pradeep, as far as opposition states are concerned, the Odisha, until the BJD was in power, was also against implementing the Ayushman Bharat scheme for the exact same reason. So then the allegations that you make against the TMC and West Bengal, are they the same that you make against Naveen Patnaik as well?
It's a difference. No, it's a difference. Mamata Banerjee has not pointed her opposition to only this scheme. If you look at the trajectory of the opposition of Mamata Banerjee's scheme, it has also happened with the Kisan Samman Nidhi. Mamata Banerjee has opposed any and every central scheme only on the premise because she feels that if a benefit of the central scheme reach the people of Bengal, it is her vote which might move away. She is looking at it from a political point of view. We are looking at it purely from a development point of view.
Is it from a political point of view, Tausif Khan?
Absolutely not. You see, Mamata Banerjee and Narendra Modi are political adversaries. Entire country knows that. But Mamata Banerjee has ensured that for politics, the people of state must not suffer. And it is for this reason that she already have the Swasth Sati scheme already in place 2 years before Ayushman scheme was introduced. And what Mr. Pradeep Bhandari was saying is absolutely false and untrue, that it was restricted only to a certain group. I live here. Maybe Mr. Bhandari has not visited Kolkata or visited anywhere in Bengal. That is why he is saying so. I was personally involved in at least maybe a dozens of cases where I have seen that people have received benefits and they were outside the category that Mr. Bhandari has just said. Therefore, it is a plain lie that Mr. Bhandari is speaking, and I can say it from my own personal knowledge.
30 seconds, Pradeep, if you want to respond before I get in Sanjay Rana as well. Yeah, 30 seconds.
Again, I'll reiterate it for my friend from the TMC. Ayushman is an all-extensive scheme. Every elderly above the age of 70 years is eligible to the Ayushman benefit. That is not the case with Swasth Sati, sir. I am not an outsider to Bengal. my family, my in-laws family resides in Bengal. I have a grandmother, I have a, I have my wife's mother, who great grandmother who lives in Bengal, and she has not got the benefit under quote unquote your scheme, because it is not all pervasive for everybody above the age of 70 years. That is point number one. Now, let me just end by 10 seconds on how Mamata Banerjee is looking at renaming schemes. Swachh Bharat Mission launched, Mamata Banerjee renamed it as Nirmal Ghar in Bengal. National Rural Livelihood Mission, it became Andhara. PM Gram Sadak Yojana, Banglar Gramin Sadak Yojana. PM Awas Yojana, Banglar Griha Kripal Ka Yojana. So again I reiterate, if I go into this part of renaming, it is Mamata Banerjee who is doing so. What is the harm if Ayushman benefit reaches the elderly of Bengal?
So Sanjay Rana, is this just a your credit versus my credit kind of a situation? Because those allegations are the same, irrespective of which way they are turned.
Poonam, again, I'm saying if any benefit which is giving to people of India or citizen of any state or citizen of this country, obviously we need to pass it to them above politics. We should not do the politics, helping, creating a problem for helping people. But we need to understand what is the difference between the two schemes. Anyway, Pradeep Bhandari has specifically explained what is the difference. Basic difference is one is above 70% you get the treatment. But if you look at this, what's called this Swasthya Sathi card scheme, if you're not a permanent resident of Bengal, you will not get benefit, number one. Number two, if you are not enrolled in, if you are enrolled in another government health insurance scheme, you are not eligible for that. Number three, member family of covered by the group medical insurance scheme of employment of central government. If suppose anyone is living in West Bengal, employs the central government, he will not get the benefit. What is not creating a discrepancy, differentiated between the two people or two citizens of West Bengal. Number four, the employee of the central government and state government who receive a medical allowances are not eligible for this one. This is the 2-3 point which I have highlighted. I am saying my point is very categorically very simple and straight to both of them. If anything which is going and benefiting people of this country, obviously we need to pass the benefit. If anyone is going age of above 70 and is being hospitalized, is poor, then how will you get the benefit? Why
state scheme or central scheme? The point is that it needs to benefit those who need it the most, and that really should be the agenda for every single party, irrespective of political party lines. I leave it at that. I thank you, gentlemen, for joining us here on this edition. Time for a quick break on Plain Speak, but on the other side, we'll get you the first Diwali in Ayodhya after Ram Mandir, and Ayodhya is all decked up. We'll get you a live report from there.